Good afternoon. Hello again. It's Sunday and it's the 23rd of November and it's 2 o'clock. And me and Pete, how you doing, Pete?
All right, mate.
Good. Remember, Pete, look, me and Pete are going to do a little chat with two, I don't know, like blues royalty, really, isn't that, Pete?
100%, yeah.
Yeah. It's Pauline Edwards and Nat Patrick, otherwise known as the Vincent Girls. This is Johnny Vincent's widow and daughter, and we're going to have we had a little chat with them about, I don't know, 18 months ago or something. And we thought it's time for us to bring them back. It's 150 years this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we had a great week with lots and lots of different things. So we thought, you know what, let's bring the girls back on. So I had a little chat with Pauline, and she said, yeah, they're a little bit technophobic, so they're a bit worried about coming on. But but they made Roy Nat's husband. They stopped him from going fishing today in case, in the words of Nat, anything broke down. So I don't, I'm not quite sure what she meant by that, but actually, Pete's really good at techno stuff, ain't you, Pete?
I'm top draw, mate. I am, yeah. And,
Pete,
He
I've
usually
got
comes on. He usually comes on upside down or something, or sometimes he's on the side like this. For fucking hell, Pete, turn your camera around or something.
Pete normally has problems turning off.
Anyway, just getting back to subject matter to the girls, I just say how wonderful they look, like two angels.
Thank you,
Uh,
Steve.
in all the white and then a big Roy's big head stuck up in the middle of them. So, spoiled. Sorry, Roy. So listen, Pauline, as we know, everyone, well, not everyone, but people of our sort of vintage, me and you, Pete, are going to remember Johnny Vincent, aren't we? Number one. What a name for a footballer.
well, I mean, to me, he's right up there. I mean, yesterday, for the 150th, they wheeled out Barry Bridges,
Oh, did
and
they?
they did, yeah,
My
yeah, yeah.
favourite. How's he looking?
Um, I tell you what, he's all right for his age. Fair play to him. He can still run faster than me.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That's not a high bar, though, to be fair.
but Barry Bridges, like that forward line with Bridges, Vincent, Pickering, not so much Greenough. Greenough came a bit later, but Bridges, Vincent, Pickering, Summerhill. Those four names for me sort of epitomised blues when I was a lad. And John Vincent was. My mum got me a pair of Johnny Vincent football boots because John used to wear just plain black, didn't he, Pauline? I think.
Yeah.
So, well, most of them did, but John's were just black. And my mum said, "Yeah, I got you these Johnny Vincent boots. Well, brilliant!" Anyway, years later, she told me she got them from Timpson's. But but I thought they were Johnny Vincent boots, didn't I? And Pete used to roll the top of his shorts down like Fred Pickering did.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Pauline, but Fred was my first hero. But it's quite funny. I was looking back at an old scrapbook that I'd got, and I probably got more pictures of Johnny in there than what I have flipping Fred.
You know what I
Oh,
think that is, though, Pete? I think it's because like Fred weren't like the most photogenic person, was he? He's like a bit chubbyish, like. And he
Yeah.
wasn't, but he's a big lad, and he weren't that pretty. John was like gorgeous, wasn't he?
Oh,
you know, he's my dad, but I look back on photos of him, and I do. I think he was a really good-looking bloke, but I know I'm biased.
Well, your lad looks the spitting image of him.
Oh, as he's getting older, he more and more and more
Yeah,
really of his
and of
grandson.
course he could have
I've said
played for the Blues, couldn't he? And he chose not to.
played for the Blues and he chose not to. And funnily enough, I went to watch him play football 4 weeks ago. And I was just stood there smiling because obviously I'd watched my dad so many times as a kid. And my daughter said, "Can you spot him?" I said, "Yeah, every time." I said, "It's his run." And the way he stands there with his hands on his hips. And it's my dad.
Mm,
The mannerisms are just uncanny, Steve. It's so
yeah.
strange.
I told you
Yeah.
before he lives with me, and it's like living with John again.
Yeah.
What have I done to deserve this?
Well,
But it's you know it's that and you can always tell people by the walk and the gait, can't you? You know, but he was a very very nice footballer. Pete, I mean, that team of the '60s going forward was like, whoa. Look, yesterday was a bit like that, wasn't it?
yeah, it certainly was, mate. But I'll have to confess something to I was on about my scrapbook. Well, I'd actually got a picture of Pauline in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Oh
weren't
yeah.
stalking her, was you, Pete?
Probably.
Even even at that age, no, they used to do these things like meet the girl behind the man,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there's a picture of Pauline sat at this typewriter. Now,
Yeah.
I've seen that photo.
you was probably my second crush. You was 'cause at the time I had the hots for
Who was your first?
this flipping this puppet called Marina from Stingray.
Oh.
Yeah, she was
Well, you
everything.
was up, Mike. You was up against two real men there: Troy Tempest and
Yeah,
Johnny Vincent.
well, that's it. But the thing is, the great thing about this Marina was she was good looking, but she couldn't speak.
Yeah, I
It's
remember her.
not the perfect thing. But
I
yeah, getting
remember
on
her.
that picture, Pauline, flipping out. Is that the one that you said that Nat is actually in it, and you were pregnant with that?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
The
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Well, do you know what? It's I don't think I told Mum this, Steve. I went out to a doodie about 2 months ago, and it was like a social club sort of setting. And cut a long story short, walked past these like table of blokes, and they were on about Birmingham and the players and da 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 da. And I'd had a bit to drink. It's not like me, Steve, is it?
But I'm not saying anything that. It's not to
Steve.
see without anything broken, actually.
I know. Well, the last time we met, we were very drunk, weren't we? But we won't go into that.
Yeah.
You were.
Yeah.
Anyway, so me being outspoken, I said, "Oh, I said my dad played for Britain." I would never say that sober. Anyway, this guy went, "Who's your dad?" And I said, he went, "You having me on?" I went, "No." And then my best friend said, "Yeah." He went, "Oh my God, oh my God, just let me get on the phone to my dad, let me get on the phone." And I had to stand there and have a half an hour conversation with his dad. Then I had to have my photo with him, and so embarrassed at this point. When you think,
Nice, though, isn't it?
yeah, but I did feel a bit embarrassed because sober, I would never do that, would I?
No.
But it's like, Johnny's right. We could name like 100 blues players now, and they've
Yeah,
all played, and we can remember them. But John is one of those probably 30 odd players that stands out, as a forward, and particularly at that time. And of course, there was only one way they could get John out of that team, and that was to bring Trevor Francis in, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, so true.
So I mean, it wasn't like someone came along that was unworthy of it, because it went from one very, very good player to one very, very, very good player. And Pete and I chose our all-time team, didn't we, last week, Pete?
Yeah, we
Well,
did, man.
not all time, but time since Pete and I had been watching the Blues. And, John was mentioned, but you can't, unfortunately, you can't put him in above Trevor, can you?
No,
how
can't put everyone.
did he react to that, Mum, at the time when it happened?
React to what?
To Trevor Francis and the change about?
No, he didn't react.
He didn't.
No, that's football, isn't it? No,
Yeah.
and he didn't react at all. No.
Yeah, and I think, Pauline, I mean, you met John, didn't you, by applying for a job at the Blues?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell
Applied
us
for the
then.
job, got the job. I was secretary to David Exall, who was the
didn't
commercial.
Did you?
No, I didn't know till I got the letter back. Blues, yeah.
Remember the PO boxes and you had to send the letter?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you didn't know it was Blues?
That's what I mean.
No.
Ah,
So
right.
when he come to the post, I thought, oh my goodness, because I used to go with my dad as well, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll go for an interview. Got the job, and then it was Johnny Schofield's testimonial, which I went to. Obviously, John was playing in it. Then Bill Clinton, the groundsman, called John over and said, "There's somebody that wants to meet you." Well, I was flabbergasted.
Yeah.
And I said, I didn't say that. He said, no. He said, just say it for now. He said, and anyway, he got chatting and he said, I'll come in the office to see you tomorrow after training. And he did. And then we went out for lunch.
And the rest is history.
6 months later, we were married.
Oh, look what happened sitting next to you now.
Hey?
I
What?
tell you,
Look what happened sitting next to you now. Look.
I know. If only I'd have known.
If only I'd never, you should know.
She has got the look of John about her though, isn't she? A bit like, she has. Not as much as your grandson, Pauline, but you have.
No, personality-wise, I'm definitely more my dad than my mum.
Yeah, God help you. God help
Let's
you,
say I've got
Pauline.
the devil in me like Dad has. Mum's a sensible one.
You wouldn't tell the customers in the pubs that, Nat. No. You wouldn't.
I can see why you're such a good-looking lady, though. To be honest, because you come from good stock. Because obviously, like Pauline was very nice, and Johnny, for a bloke, although all blokes are ugly, he weren't a bad-looking chap, was he?
Was a pretty boy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
He was.
I'll tell you what, though, towards the end of his blues career, Pauline, you should have got the scissors out and give him a proper haircut again. Because, I remember him as a bit of a skinhead when he first got in the blues team. By the time he had this deviled blonde flipping mop. And going back to me scrapbook there, I've got this program of him and Johnny and Jimmy Greenough having a big hug together, and all you can see is his flipping big mop of flipping blonde hair between both of them.
I remember that photo.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Talking about his hair, I mean, I could laugh, but at the time, I don't know why I convinced my dad to let me perm his hair. Do you remember, Mum?
Yes.
And I was about 14, and I thought, I don't want to be a hairdresser at the time. Begged him. I said, please let me perm your hair. No. So in the end, as he always did, he couldn't say no to me. He gave in, didn't he? Just do it. He said, but I'll tell you what, Bab, I hope you know what you're doing. I've got a pub to open. Wow, you should have seen it. All the rollers were hanging out, the perm papers were... So we got some in, some out, and my mum kept looking at me, giving me the eye as she did, and going, you have to say you're going to be in terrible trouble. Anyway, I took the perm rollers out, and half his hair was curly, and half his hair was straight.
She said, just open one eye.
Just open one eye. Wow, didn't I get into trouble?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we went, look what you... And she went, well, fancy letting her do that. Are you stupid?
You got a point, Pauline. But he had, that hair that hair certainly changed, Pete, when he was a little bit later in his career. But so out of the the players that he played with, Pauline, who sort of stands out for you? Like as people that you got on with and you knew.
Oh, Jimmy Greenough.
Yeah.
We can't. Yeah, my dad met
What's
him.
Jimmy's wife's name now? I have met her.
Joan Greenough. She used to stay with me when they went away. And she was a lovely lady. And my dad met Jimmy after one of the games, and he loved me dad. So John took Jimmy to my dad's house to see him. And it's like a little family, yeah. And then we went to Stoke to see him.
Yeah, I was heartbroken when he went to Stoke. I was.
Yeah. But people think that there was some disagreement. I never heard about that with somebody, with one of the players.
Listen, we all heard that there was a little bit of, I don't know, like it was to do with Mrs. Pickering as well, I think. This was the rumour, but you know what? I don't know. Obviously, I don't know. I ain't got a clue.
You know anything about that, Mum?
No, not anything, no.
Because he's only at Blues for a season, wasn't he? Although it seems longer than that.
It did seem longer than that, yeah.
Yeah, because he was one of those players, Jimmy, when he came to us, that wasn't at the tail end of his career like Fred Pickering was. And
Yeah.
other players that we signed at the time, Tony Haitley and people like that, tend to be at the end of the career. Of course, Jimmy was at the start of his. He came from
Mhm.
Leeds for
Mhm.
75,000, and then he went to Stoke for 100,000, I think.
Was it
And then
on?
from then on, he went to Man United, didn't he? And he was absolutely massive. Him and his brother Brian. Brian was an England international.
Mm.
His
Mm.
younger brother. But the two Greenoffs were, Jimmy was a brilliant. I loved Jimmy Greenoff.
Yeah.
Him and John, and fantastic.
I
John
was
loved
going to
he
say
he
Jimmy
loved
there.
playing with him.
Haunt us, wouldn't he? Because he'd always seem to score, um, but against us when he was playing for Stoke.
He did,
But
yeah.
I tell you how much he was like, though. I mean, I never forget he smashed this one goal in like a flipping volley from about 25 yards. We got beat 3-0 that day, but everybody stood and applauded the goal. You know what I mean?
Mm.
He was a top player for Blues, and it's just a shame, like you say, that for whatever reasons he moved on. But there's one thing I want to ask you, Pauline. So Johnny signed for Blues about 1964, was it? I
Mm.
think somewhere about then. Yeah. So it's all.
Yeah,
Did
64, 65, yeah.
yeah? So did Stan Collis sign him then, or how did it work?
Yes, Stan Cullis was the manager at the time.
Yes. Yeah.
Don Dorman scouted him.
Didn't he have
Don
a choice?
Dorman.
Yeah, but this is when he come to Birmingham.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Stan.
Collis.
No, not Stan Cullis. Don Dorman.
Don Dorman, yeah.
That's
Don
it.
Dorman was the head coach, wasn't it? Well,
That's
the scout, chief scout, Don Dorman.
Chief Scout. Yeah.
And Alan Inston was the club secretary.
He was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what it was, Pauline, I was just sort of like thinking about. He joined the Blues when we was in a bit of turmoil, wasn't he? Like that, we just got relegated. Gil Merrick had left. Somewhere I want to pick your brains about with that one in a minute as well. And then like we Stan Cullis took over, and we had those glory years when we scored goals for fun, and like I say, Johnny was at the forefront of everything there. And then towards the end of Stan Collis's reign, it sort of like fell down, didn't it, with Blues until Freddie Goodwin come
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
But so really with Johnny, we had the best years of him.
Definitely.
I felt, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the sad things, though, Pete, with Collis and John, was that he left him out of the '68 semi-final team, and I think that cost us the semi-final. I do, because he played Colin Green, I think, as like
Yeah.
I think he went with a back five or something, which is a bit outrageous at the time. And it was the same when Blues played in the semi-final against Fulham, wasn't it? Like unexpected changes in the team. And I think that day, I think Barry Bridges disappeared a little bit. Fred Pickering had the game of his life, and we missed John. I think John came on with about 20 minutes to go or something, Too late to influence the game, really.
But on the Thursday, Stan Cullis said he was playing, and on the Friday,
that's
he changed
right,
his mind.
Why, Mum?
I don't no idea. Don't know.
Did Johnny used to bring his work home with him, so to speak? Did he used to have a good moan about what was going on?
Never moaned. He wasn't a moaner, was he?
Never a moaner.
Never ever moaned.
No, he never moaned about anything, to be honest. He was one of these that he could sort of, I don't know, if things had happened, he'd put him in a box and he'd move on. Never dwelled on anything. That wasn't my dad.
The only thing he moaned about was golf. That was.
Oh, he used to lose his head on the golf course.
Yeah, but that's the only thing. No, he didn't bring the football home with him. No.
Yeah, because I know, like going towards the end of it, and I'll never forget it. Like he come out with this quote that there's too much kick and rush football at Birmingham. Now, at the time, you're thinking, what's she on about there? But I think a lot of that says about what a player Johnny was, and that he was ahead of his time in a way. The way he played.
Definitely.
That's why I like playing with Jimmy Greenough, because he said he thinks the same as me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's happy, yeah.
Something my uncle said to me when we signed Jimmy Greenough was he got first division pace, and he had, hadn't he? You know, I mean,
He
he
was
got
quite
that little turn of speed Greenough had as well, which like used to burn defenders. And Barry Bridges had the same thing, you know. Barry Bridges especially was like shit off a shovel when he Barry Bridges.
Oh,
They used
yeah.
to called him Flash, you know, and because of how fast he ran, like not because he flashed at anyone. Uh, well, I think that's why they called it him. But Pauline, as I remember, you were big friends with Ray Martin and his wife, weren't you?
Yes. And she used to come and stay with me as well when they went
Yeah.
to work. Then he moved to Seattle, didn't he?
I don't know, because I know it was strange actually, because Ray played in the 70s teams as well, didn't he? You know, early
Yeah.
70s, I think, Pete, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yeah.
He was part of our promotion team in 71, 72,
Yeah.
and he did play a few games in the first division. So, when did Johnny go out to America then?
Oh God, I was 8, so it would be 77.
77 when Johnny went.
It's the Jubilee year.
Yeah,
77. 2 years before the Jubilee year.
77, yeah. So I remember I went to school over there, didn't I? I was 8.
Do you remember how the move to Middlesbrough came about?
No, it was quite quick, really. John came home one day and he said, Middlesbrough are interested in me. And it didn't look like that Freddie Goodwin was going to playing too much anyway. So he said, I think I'll talk to him. And I said, I'm not living in Middlesbrough. I don't want to go there, I said. He said, well, come, we'll go together, he said, and see what we think. And that was it. He signed that day, and I loved it up there.
Did you? The Smuggies.
Yeah, I loved it up there. I really, really
you know,
did.
The funny thing is, Mum, I don't think she's got them now, but
what?
Mum used to have tapes of me talking as a little girl. Oh, I was proper Middlesbrough, wasn't I? I had a real strong.
Yeah.
And then when we moved to Wales, I got a Welsh accent. And then when we moved to America, I got an American accent. It's no wonder I'm like a gypsy, honestly.
No wonder she's Barney, is it?
How long was he at Middlesbrough for? Because who came the other way? Armstrong, wasn't it, Pete?
George Smith.
Oh, George Smith. Yeah.
Yeah.
George Smith, yeah.
We swapped a blonde for a blonde.
Dan Anderson was the manager at Middlesbrough at the time.
Yeah. George Smith was he was a good player, but totally different player to John, wasn't he?
Totally different. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, but did he have an agent at all, Johnny, during his career?
Yeah, me.
Yeah, take no shit.
Yeah. So,
no.
but you know, I mean, like the life of a footballer's wife and family and everything.
She's a wag, Pauline is.
She's a wag.
I'm not saying it.
She is. Look at her. She's got wag written all over her.
She has, yeah. And she knows it, Steve.
Oh, no. Look at her.
Oh, my goodness. No,
she'll be selling the stories in the News of the World next.
Yeah.
Nobody could ever know half of them.
You get arrested.
Yeah.
And that's just when I've been out with you.
Exactly. You already know them, Steve.
No, some of them.
Some of them, yeah.
Not all of them.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, especially sort of like, say, for you though, Nat. So, what 1 minute you're in Birmingham and you've got all your school friends around you. The next minute you're up in Middlesbrough, you've made friends up there. Then you're down in Wales making friends there. Was it easy? Well, I suppose it was easy for you because you're a friendly girl, ain't you? So I've heard on the grapevine.
Hey, Roy's there.
I think you've got two options as a kid, haven't you? You know, not consciously, but subconsciously, I guess. Because I didn't know any different. That was my life, wasn't it? So you know, from the age of 2, it wasn't normal for me to be anywhere for that long. So I think, you know, it's like what people say, if you don't know any different, that was my normality.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that because of having to move quite, you know, a lot, I'd make friends at school, like as you say, you know, America, Middlesbrough, Cardiff, and then woof, we'd be gone again. And probably that made me the person, don't know if Mum would agree, made me the person I was. And I've always been, I suppose, quite a confident person, but I had to be, otherwise I'd have shriveled in the corner.
No, I think you were confident anyway.
Well, ask me, Mum, I don't know.
Yeah.
She said I was born I don't. You have to ask me, Mum, Pete.
We stayed at the Tall Trees Hotel in Yarm for 3 months when we moved to Middlesbrough. And she used to go around talking to everybody at meal times, and it just wasn't appropriate at all. In the end, they said, can you have your meals in the room, because Natalie gets on everybody's nerves.
But how was it for you though, Pauline, going into sort of like an environment you got friends in Birmingham and with the players' wives and this, that, and the other. All of a sudden, you're walking into another clique, aren't you? Or was it?
I would imagine.
But I'm a bit like Nat. I can.
Yeah, she is.
I'm like Nat. I can.
She makes friends with anybody.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Talk to anybody, make friends with anybody. So that it wasn't too difficult, really.
I think for Mum, though, I don't know if you'd agree. Like, you've got to remember that Mum's parents were in Birmingham.
Yeah.
So Mum had got the added pressure of having me, Dad being away footballing, and Mum was on her own with me without no family. And I look back at that now and think that must have been quite hard for Mum.
Yeah. But I never had any brothers or sisters anyway, so there was always only me.
But then when we went to America, and obviously we were based in Connecticut, and Dad he was always away training or playing matches. We were like a little community, weren't we, Mum? We all we had like all the players' wives, all the kids.
Before you went there, you went to Cardiff, didn't you, Pauline? You went to Cardiff, didn't you?
From America.
Oh, from America.
You went to Cardiff first, didn't you? Yeah, from Middlesbrough.
Before we went to America, yeah.
So it was Jimmy Scola, wasn't it? The manager.
Yes, Jimmy Scola.
So how long was John at Middlesbrough for?
I don't know, really. Don't know, 18 months, perhaps.
Yeah, is that all? Yeah.
Peter'd know. You'd know, wouldn't you, Pete?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it was that long. And the crazy thing was that Johnny ended up playing with George Smith at Cardiff, who they'd done the swap deal with. They both ended up at Cardiff playing in the same.
I don't think we were there then, Pete. I can't remember. Yeah, George Smith went to Cardiff, but I don't think we were there then.
Right. Oh, right. Johnny had gone by then, had he?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I've got to pull it back to the blues thing then. So, you know, when Gil Merrick left and whatever, under acrimonious circumstances, if you read his biography and that, he was on about like that. He was sort of like mates with the director Morris, wasn't it? The Morris family. Because there was two families, weren't there? There was the Wisemans and the Morrises.
Clifford Coombs.
That's how Clifford Coombs was the chairman.
That's right.
And you got the Wiseman family and the Morris family. I just wondered how much you had any waffle with the at boardroom level with people.
No, just we went to his house one day, Clifford Coombs, one Sunday afternoon, and the story behind that is John said something to a newspaper, and the club fined him £100, which was a lot of money then. So Clifford Coombs invited us over to his house on the Sunday. And while we were there, he said, that money that they've fined you, John, he said, I'll give it you back. You won't be out to pocket. And then, I don't know whether it was Clifford Coombs that owned S&U stores in Birmingham. I'm not sure. But I was asked to go down there and just get whatever I wanted.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Wag.
No.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But I believe as well, Pauline, that you met Joe Bradford, didn't you?
Oh, gosh, yeah. I didn't meet him. I worked with him.
Oh, did you work with him?
Yeah. He was like I don't know what you call him, really, the odd job man. He used to just go around the office doing little things.
It's crazy that, isn't it, when you think about it now?
Yeah. Honestly, he was like my granddad.
Your granddad?
Yeah, he
How
was.
much was he?
Oh, he was like getting on. And he used to go over the country road every day and get the meat, steak, because they knew him, like, looked after him.
You told me this.
Yes. And he used to say, I'll do your dinner.
Is that when you were, she had really bad sickness with me, pregnant, that time?
But he used to cook.
Our story of your life, Pauline, eh? Bad sickness with Natalie.
I was very, very fond of him. And he was such. And I went to see him. I took Nat to see him after I left. And he used to say to me, that baby in there is going to be the next centre forward.
Ah!
Yeah.
He was lovely.
Yeah, I think
a bit of a blues legend as well, of course, Joe Bradford.
He said he wouldn't be fit to tie Johnnie Vincent's shoelaces. He said to me.
Yeah, I think secretly my dad had always wanted a boy. Well, he got the name, hadn't he, Neil?
Yeah, that's right.
I think he was devastated when he had a girl.
He wasn't. Well, you're lucky you didn't get called Nelly. Got to move the letters round a little bit.
True, so true.
Yeah, no.
So true.
No, he wasn't disappointed. No,
because you had your paper shop in Cardiff, didn't you?
News agents,
yeah. Oh, John was John was a bit of a. He used to get the papers ready, didn't he, in the morning?
It's the only thing he did do, Nat, in the shop.
What was you going to say? I was the love of his life.
Yeah, she was the love of his life. She was, yeah. Yeah, he used to get the papers ready, and I used to do the rest of it.
He weren't there a lot, honestly. He was either, from my memories, I always remember you in the shop, Mum.
Yeah,
training. He was either training, playing football, or at golf. He weren't there, honestly.
No.
But I think, do you know what? I was having this conversation. Back in the day, it was so much more accepted, wasn't it?
Mm.
That the men, and I shouldn't say this. Can I say it, Mum? Look at her face.
What you're going to say, do I?
I remember back in the day, it was so much more accepted that men would go out for a drink of a Sunday lunchtime, and she's going to kill me for saying this. But I do remember, as a kid, he should have come home. Did you pinch his shoes or something? Did you pinch his shoes? She's going to dinner down the pub. No, I remember.
She's going too far now, isn't she?
What did you do?
That was on honeymoon.
Oh, go on then.
A friend of his and his wife, we went there for the first week on our own, and he arranged for them to come the second week on honeymoon. And so he thought he was going to the pub every day. Well, I pinched his shoes. He said, "You'll never stop me going to the pub." He went with no shoes on.
On honeymoon as well, eh?
How did moving into the pub trade evolve then? So was that like you'd been in America, you'd come back home, and it was, what do we do next? One of them things, or how did that work out?
Yeah, we talked about it while we were in America. What we're going to do next.
You played for Seattle?
Bicentennials.
Connecticut.
Connecticut, yeah.
Who
Who else was there then?
Bobby Thompson was there.
Oh, Bobby Thompson, yeah.
The two Bobby Thompsons, weren't there?
Was it Bobby Thompson that played for Villa and Blues? Well, Wolves and Blues.
Yes.
There was the fullback Bobby who come from Wolves to us, and then there was a centre forward Bobby who'd come from Villa. Well, the Villa Bobby Thompson actually played against us in the '63.
I don't remember him, the other Bobby Thompson, but we had we had a clubhouse for 3 months, 4 months when we got married, till we moved into our own, and it was Bobby Thompson's old house. And
the woman nice bloke. He was big friends with my dad, Bobby Thompson was.
Hey, sorry,
big friends with my dad, Bobby Thompson was.
Oh, was he?
Oh,
yeah.
Well, the neighbour next door said, "I hope you're not going to make as much row as he did." What a fine start, isn't it? Yeah.
He was a nice fullback. He was as well. He weren't one of the kick him into row Z types. He was a bit of a ball playing fullback.
He's a footballing fullback.
Bobby. Yeah, nice player. But yeah, so with the pub side of things, then I ain't been funny, but from the way you've described Johnny, and you've only got to see you pair as a double act. I think it's sort of like the perfect move for you to jump into the pub trade.
It was a good move. Yeah. We both enjoyed the job. Yeah.
I think it helped as well, because the reality was, the pub was in Birmingham, in Northfield, as you know, Pete, and everybody knew my dad. And people would just come in to see my dad.
Yeah.
So, and I just remember it being so happy and just fabulous times. And that's like back in the day when you would shut the pub and you'd have lock-ins. And I just remember the parties as a kid. They were fantastic. I mean, I remember the one party, it went on for 2 days. You never opened the pub, did you?
No. But that's how it was then, wasn't it?
It was.
That was Princess Diana's wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Any excuse,
Yeah.
We didn't need an excuse, really.
My mum was always the one who used to say, I've got to go to bed. She was ever so spiteful.
Who, you?
You
got to go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to say, Dad, tell her. Dad. Oh, don't let us stay up. So I got to stay up. Great. It was brilliant, actually.
Yeah, because the Travellers, I think if you speak to a lot of people, they remember John from the Travellers, because people did go there, you know, specifically to see him. But you had a few other pubs as well, didn't you?
We were at the Travellers for 5 years, actually.
Yeah, that's a fair bit of time, isn't it?
Yeah. And then the brewery thought it'd be good for us to have an entertainment pub. I don't know why they said that.
Oh, I'll do. Well, you were the show, Mum.
Remember when I used to do the splits?
Yeah, but anyway, move on.
So we had the Barrel
in Langley.
Yeah.
Brilliant pub.
Brilliant entertainment pub.
It was a typical, sort of Monday to Friday, because I was 14 then, so I was older. Monday to Friday, it was quiet, but Friday night was grab a granny night.
Oh, nice.
Thursday night we had entertainment.
Yeah, but Friday night was grab a granny night, I'll never forget. And of course, I was allowed then at this point to be. That's when our singing career came from, really. And we had some really, really good bands, some fantastic music, didn't we? It was fabulous. It was busy, wasn't it, Mum?
Oh, God. We had two doormen on, didn't we?
Yeah.
2 doors. And about 9 o'clock, that was it, full.
And I can still remember my dad, and it's strange the memories you've got of him being upstairs, getting ready. He always had to put his mohair suit on, didn't he? And he stunk of Aramis. Absolutely reeked of it. And to this day, I can't smell it. I can't go anywhere near it. Isn't it funny?
Yeah, Aramis.
No.
Yeah.
That's Dad.
That's the only aftershave,
you ever wore.
Yeah. Aramis, yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was, I think we were there for 2 years. John moved there. And I stayed at the Travellers for about
I remember that. You used to get phone calls, didn't you?
3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
On my own. I didn't really want to move to this barrel place. But one Saturday night, I think I've told you before, I thought I'm going to go over to the barrel to see what this entertainment's like.
Me and you went, didn't we?
So we went over, and there were no mobile phones then. And then the barmaid from the Travellers rang the barrel to say, could I come back quick as I could?
I remember that.
Remember?
Yeah.
And when I got back, oh my God, the whole pub was like sawdust, wasn't it? Smashed up.
There wasn't a table or a chair, it was just sawdust on the floor. It's panic, Mark.
I was thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen to my licence? Then there were 2 blokes, 2 guys in the bar, champagne on ice. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, Paul, come and have a drink with us. You'll be all right. And I'm looking round, I'm thinking, well, I ain't going to argue with you. I'm looking round thinking, oh my God. But the Black Mariah apparently had already been and gone.
No.
It was their most Saturdays, wasn't it?
I think my dad was such a gentleman. He was so nice, but she was like Peggy Mitchell.
Now, he used to say, this is funny, when we first got to the barrel, and I would be in the bar, and he'd say to the men, don't swear while my wife's there, will you? A bar in Northfield?
Yeah.
You know.
He was a gentleman, though.
Don't swear in front of her. Huh?
He was a gentleman, bless him.
Yeah, he was.
Northfield's a bit rough. Because, well, it was before the time of the Dukes, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was across the road, wasn't it? But
yeah.
I think Mum and Dad, I mean, I
never went into the Dukes.
I've been in, can't remember. Anyway, I remember when we moved in, it was really, but to be fair to them pair, you had a real good sort out, didn't you? And you banged a lot of people within the first 3 months,
and then in the end, the man and the woman would come in as a couple on a Saturday night, and no trouble.
It was a lovely couple in the end.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to leave. Yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah, that's nice. She did a good job there.
The name place above the Travellers there, Jonathan Victor Vincent, licensed to sell. Did you ever get your name up there, Pauline? What was Johnny's name?
No, because he wasn't there. Because he had to have his name up at the other pub, didn't he? I had a temporary license.
Right. Yeah. Because
I tell you what my name, what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't Jonathan anyway. It was John Victor.
What a name! That was his dad's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his dad's name. Yeah. So
a lot of people who went over to the Dukes, because it was down. You'd have to go downstairs to it, wouldn't you?
I've been in the Dukes, and I can't remember why I would, because I was so young. But I have. It went downstairs underneath, didn't you?
I remember.
I did. It was
rough, wasn't it?
Hey, Pauline, when you got your temporary license, who was the licensing inspector? Can you remember?
No, I can't remember that.
No, I can't. Sorry, I was trying to think. It's all right.
You really did it, didn't they? I had no dealings with that. M&B, Mitchells and Butlers, just did it.
Yeah.
You know, you had a few pubs, didn't you, Steve?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah. Strangely enough, one of the main pubs I had I was there actually for 10 years, but I had a lot of pubs all at the same time.
So I had when we met.
Oh.
Yeah, I had the Barrel Organ.
Yes,
I remember
in Digbeth, which was also a music pub and big entertainment pub, you know. And I had a lot of pubs. I had the West End Bar, the Vine in Aston, the Town Crier in Borsall Heath, the Midland Tavern in Nechells, and the Bull's Head in Pritchard Street, which is like top end of Aston by the fire station.
Do you miss that? Do you ever miss that?
I do, you know, because it's a great job, really. Like, you know, I mean, it was a real crack, and I was lucky enough not to really have to be behind the bar ever. Luckily enough, but. Well, I did like when I started. I used to be behind the bar, but then like we bought a few more pubs and blah blah blah, you know. But yeah, I missed the sort of lifestyle of it really, because
action,
when I first come out, I remember I was living in Hall Green at the time, and I went into the Robin Hood on Stratford Road in Hall Green.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Yeah, and the gaffer there, Jeff Christmas, God bless him, dead now, and his wife Mary. She was in the she,
Christmas.
yeah, she was in the papers every Christmas now. Merry Christmas, she was a licensee. They had it, and the first night I went out on a Saturday night, like with the first night probably for years I've been out on a Saturday night. I was walking around collecting glasses. I couldn't stop myself.
It was like that
So I walked
everywhere.
past the table with empty glasses on. I'd be like, "Shh," up the
Yeah,
bar.
if there was a glass on that table there, I'd be thinking, I've got to go and collect it. Yeah.
Well, Mum, funny you should say. I remember Mum saying when they came out the trade that was one of the most hardest transitional times of her life. She said because, like it's not a job; it's a lifestyle, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because your social life becomes your working life. And
Yeah,
then so Saturday nights, suddenly it was like, although I'd still go out for a drink,
yeah,
it weren't the same. It was like, what's going on here? Like, I can do what I want. Just
yeah,
weird. It was just odd, took me probably a year to get used to that,
yeah. And you?
Oh,
Yeah.
longer than that. And I used to sit in the house of a night looking at the door. It's like waiting for somebody to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because when I had the pubs, and Peter will remember, and you will, Pauline, of course, when it used to be 10:30 till 2:30 and
Yeah.
5:30 till 10:30, and then Sunday was 12 till 2 and
Yeah.
6 till 10.
Then was it 7 till half 10 of a Sunday?
7 till 10, I think. I
Oh,
might be wrong, or half 10.
No.
It was half 10 in the week, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
See, I can see you as a landlord, Steve. Can you, Mum? Proper play up. Yeah. Oh, okay.
In the bar doing the grass. No.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you what, I remember because the barrel organ, it used to have an entrance at the back, which didn't really use very much. We went out to the coach station in Digbeth, and the main one on the front, which had like front doors. Then there was a little sort of foyer, and then there was a door into the pub, and the guy I was in partnership with a kid called Steve Vincent, oddly enough. His dad, Gordon, he was like he was a lovely old bloke, but he was a bit of a dodderer, like, he used to come and do a few hours for us. And he'd come in at like 5:30, about 4 o'clock, clean up, have a tidy up, dodder around, probably like Joe Bradford did. Open the pub at 5:30, and then we'd come about 6, and carry on. So I'm going there one night, and it's absolute, because I'd pull up on the back and come in the back door. Absolutely dead, nobody. I got fucking, I'm Gordon. Like, what's happened? Dead. So I don't know, like nobody been in. He'd forgot to open the front door. Yeah, there's some things that sort of stick in your mind. You know what I mean? I thought, Jesus, it's a good job I come in.
Yeah.
The other thing we used to do is if I ever went past the pub, and I weren't working, and the outside lights weren't on, fucking turn around, come back, turn the outside lights on. You forgot to put the bleeding outside.
So, when you had pubs in Birmingham, Steve, was it the Futrell era when Eddie Futrell and all that had Edwards number 7 and Edwards number 8?
Yeah, they did. The Futrell's real sort of era in Birmingham was the 60s, but the Futrells Eddie did have the club still in town. Yeah. And Rebecca's, Barbarella's, because they were all named after the Futrell girls, Pollyanna's.
Yeah, because I think I told you this. I was really close friends with one of the granddaughters, and we was always in the clubs that we never had to pay. Yeah, them were the days, weren't they?
Yeah, when you think back, and Pete, of course, sitting quietly there, like he was like one of the main customers in every pub.
Did you never go nightclubbing then, Pete?
If it weren't the likes of me, you would have been penniless, I tell you. But it's been lovely listening to all these pub stories and everything. To see it from the other side, I was just a punter. You know what I mean? You go and you have your beer. You forget that there's that there is a landlord and a landlady behind the bar sometimes.
The thing that affects as well, Pete, unfortunately, like, is watching the Blues, because for a certain period of time, I wasn't there as much as I used to be there, and that was bad. It wasn't like it was until I got the Bull's Head and that, then I started going away loads again then. But there was a period when, I just couldn't get out on Saturdays, because I had to run the pub. But when we got more pubs and I got more staff, I was all right. I used to go away with Tony Clarkson, Pete, then.
Oh, Clarkson, he did his coaches. He ran them to bloody Italy, didn't he? When we was in that flipping Anglo-Scottish
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. He's a good lad, Tony. He used to live in Sutton Coldfield.
All posh.
But,
Well, he did. He had a piano shop, actually.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, yeah. He's a good lad.
What you going to
You,
say?
I didn't get your piano from there, was No.
because Nat, you was a bit of a almost like professional singer, weren't you? Really? Well, you was, weren't you?
Professional.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. I'd always, nobody, I don't want to talk about me, but yeah, I'd always loved music, and I could, well, according to my mum, I could read music before I could read.
She could, yeah.
And I piano lessons, keyboard lessons, but even before they went, that was just me.
This was at the Travellers. You had a piano there.
Yeah,
She had piano lessons. She had singing lessons there. Everything was thrown at her.
Yeah, and I think living in an entertainment pub, you just learn your craft, don't you?
Do you remember when the singer didn't turn up at the barrel?
Yeah.
And you broke your foot?
Yeah, I'd break my ankle, and my dad said...
You break something every couple of weeks, you do.
Oh, I swear to God. Anyway, I broke my foot, and my dad said, the act's not come tonight, Bab. Can you stand in? And I was petrified. I was only 15. And that was it. And then
you sat on the stool?
Sat on the stool, yeah. And then from the age of 15 to 25, I was professional. Loved it. Hard work, though.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia's got a good voice, isn't she?
Oh, Georgia is
probably
yes.
better than me. But I think times have changed as from when I was a kid. And Georgia was really, is really clever. So I wanted to push to make sure that she went to university, where in my day, it wasn't so hard, was it? But she has got a phenomenal voice, Georgia has.
Looking back.
She really has.
I seen a video of her the other night, actually, on somewhere on Facebook singing something. And I thought, because, of course, I've done a duet with Georgia, but I'm so pissed I can't remember it.
What happened? You were going to.
No, you did.
I did, yeah. I got you, babe.
I've got one of you singing on your own.
Oh, don't.
Yeah.
Kingston Town, was it, by any chance?
Yes, Kingston Town, you're right.
The funny thing is, I shouldn't say this live, but it doesn't matter. I can't remember being in the karaoke, and I certainly don't remember the Chinese.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good night. It was a good day.
We had a great night. Well, we had a great day and night, didn't we?
Yeah. And then, of course, you came down here, didn't you, when all the blues lads was there?
Yeah, we went down to see Steve. We had came down to see you. We had a fabulous weekend, didn't we?
Yeah, Keith and Keith, Cuddles, Keith, and all them lads were there, and Carl, you met, and loads of other people. It was just coincided, didn't it? Like, just luckily of the weekend, all the blues lads came over.
But I just remember that Saturday night sitting in that bar on the front. Can't remember with you and whoever.
YOLO, yeah.
The heat was intense, wasn't it? It was that Spanish heat where you can't. Oh, it was terrible when it did. Do you remember how hot it was?
Yeah.
And for some reason, I decided to put this jumpsuit on. Oh, and when you sit there thinking, please, somebody help me.
Or take it off.
Take it off. But I didn't think
it was one of them, Pete, where we'd had a drink and stuff, and I was with, can't remember. Oh, Jesus. But anyway, like, we decided we was going to go live. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's twice we've gone live now, a little bit relaxed. At least we're all right today, Steve.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
You in that lounge. Oh, what was she like, Steve, in that lounge? I tell you what, we'd moved to the Black.
Here we go.
We come from the lounge. We went to the Black Chicken, didn't we? Where you sung on the stage. Yeah. She's on the crutches. She's come out the toilet. Good job you saw her. Bang on the floor. You ran and picked her up. She couldn't stand up, could she?
No.
Do you remember?
She's always doing that, isn't she?
I've worked. No. To be fair, I've worked this out. That day that I was on the crutches, and I kept saying to Mum, it was the final, wasn't it? I'm not coming. I had to take about 4 painkillers just to get out of bed. To be fair, so I think the painkillers with the bottles of bud just didn't go down well, did they?
Nah. Well, I think we got there about lunchtime, and they'd been drinking God knows how long when we got there. So. But it was a good day and good night, except for the result. It was the Virtue Cup final, Pete.
Yeah, that was sad.
That was so disappointing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But we didn't get there. We were there only about half an hour before you.
And the sad thing about that day as well, I mean, not just in Spain, if you were at Wembley, wherever you were, the hype that was, that had gone before that game. And we were on such a good roll, and
we're on the high.
You say you shouldn't be disappointed because, my God, we did well. Well, some say we didn't.
You know what though? There's a couple of markers in that season that drove us on, I think, and one was the Shrewsbury defeat, which happened about this time last year.
Yeah.
And the other one was the Virtue Cup final, losing that, because I think that then galvanised them to just finish the job, and they did it in an unbelievable way, didn't they?
They did.
And when you look at the way this team played, and I said this about a month ago, our strength this season is the strength we have in depth. That bench is really strong. And once he gets the team that it took him a while last season to get the right team. If you think, Pete, at the end of last August, we were playing with Dembele in the team, and you know, that team didn't really develop until October, November.
No, that's right.
But when he got it right, it was relentless. And I think he's just got this team right now.
Yeah.
Yesterday was just such a pleasure to watch, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I loved seeing, what I did love seeing was Doyle and Leonard in the middle of the park, absolutely dominating it, and just look. I mean, Dimmy was unbelievable. Iwata,
I've never seen Dimmy like that before, ever.
Absolutely brilliant. And then, of course, like Stansfield, man of the match for me, absolutely brilliant.
They all played well, didn't they?
Yeah, Ducks.
I've got to ask you, Pauline, are you glad that that Johnny played in the era that he did? I mean, obviously, if he'd have been playing today, he'd have been a multi-millionaire with everything else that goes around with it. But all this sort of like social media crap that people have to put up with. I mean, we've even seen it with our manager, Chrissy Davies there. Best win ratio we've ever seen. You lose a game and it's a big pile onto him. Yeah. I just wondered, really, apart from having a poor mark in one of the papers, like a 5 out of 10 or something, there wasn't that pile on, was there, with players that...
The money, Pete, didn't bother me because I just think it doesn't make you happy anyway. I couldn't be happy without, you know what I mean? But the social media side of it, I wouldn't have liked that.
No. Too intrusive, isn't
it? Too intrusive in your life. I mean, it was bad. I say bad enough. It could be when John was playing.
Yeah, but John was a really well liked player. I mean, what you got to try and put is to put the boot on the foot of the player that isn't very popular. And you see it all the time now. The thing is, now they do it for no reason. They just pick on someone. Like the latest one is the goalkeeper. He's only a kid, and they pull him to pieces. They say terrible things about the players, and we know,
What is it?
Pete and I know from just from families and stuff that actually talk to us in the group, and say that it's the only group they're going to because we don't allow that to happen. And you listen to the stories from them, and it's awful. I mean, I don't know if these people think that players don't see social media or something, because they do. Of course, they do.
I think times have changed, Pete. Even when John played, I don't think he got the sort of people saying these nasty things. I don't know where they've come from.
They're all saying them in the pub after the game. That's the difference. And once you'd said it, that was it. It was never mentioned again. Sort of thing.
And Monday at work, and we all used to talk about it, between ourselves. But there's such nastiness now.
I think as well. I think we've touched on this before, Steve. That you know, when a player, whatever position, goalie, makes a mistake, especially my dad, he would think about it, he would down about it for days, and
that was
so,
then.
and that was then. And I've seen my dad go really quiet, not speak, be really upset because of whatever. So to bully people, and I'm sorry to use that word, but I do think it's bullying.
It is.
Absolutely, it is.
To take into consideration how that player is feeling for making that mistake anyway. I can't get my head around it. I think I've had a rant about it on Facebook because I just totally disagree with it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the thing you have to think about as well is that if a player plays badly and people don't rate him as a player, then don't rate the player. Don't have a go at the player. Have a go at the manager because he's the one that picks him.
Yeah.
All the player does is go out and do what the manager asks him to do. And if he's not good enough to do it, then ask the manager why he's playing him, you know.
Yeah.
Don't have a go at the player, you know.
No. Comments, you know, you scroll through them and they're senseless. And some of them you think, well, you're just saying it to be honest. There's no, you know.
There's a really bad one yesterday. I think I mentioned it in our earlier podcast, Pete, in one of the social media groups. And I mean, it was really bad. It was this kid just having a go at uh, the left back. Who?
Brian
Yeah.
Cochrane. Yeah.
Cochrane.
Cochrane, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers. Having a go at Cochrane. I mean, really slating him, you know, really badly, and we just won. And I mean, Cochrane actually, the first goal, that ball for Dimmy was brilliant, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, why would that even enter your head after you just won 4-1, you know? I mean, why? I just don't get it either. But I'll tell you what, I remember the kid's name, and his surname is Arkwright, and he's stuck in my mind, that name. And we banned him from our page probably about 6 months into us having it because he was such an idiot, you know. And there he is again in another group doing exactly the same thing. And I don't mind saying his name because he's an idiot.
But I think with social media, sorry, Rob,
Yes,
I think that, you know, we talked about bullying, we've talked about slating people. I think in Dad's day, like you've said, yeah, there was something in the paper, whether their press were on your side or they wasn't. But now it's not just about your career; it's about your life. It's so intrusive.
Their kids, the
celeb. You know, I just think social media, while it can be, you know, for all the right reasons, Steve, I think it's a dangerous tool if it's not used correctly. I really do.
Unfortunately, you know, you can't uninvent the wheel, can you?
No.
It's there. And I think the thing that Pete and I were on today was our new National Lottery, National Lottery community funded In It Together, which is like all about mental health. And one of the biggest issues surrounding mental health is social media. You know, I mean, children take their lives because of social media bullying, you know. I mean,
look
they
at
take their own
Caroline's
lives.
That's just terrible, isn't it? And
Yeah.
she's not on her own. People taking their own lives because of trolls, and it's awful, and you're never going to stop it.
It's never going to stop, is it?
But
no. But they're sad, miserable people. They've got to be, haven't they?
It's just, you know, I mean, I don't get it myself. I mean, we all probably do it to a degree without even realizing it. You know, sometimes the minute you talk about someone behind the back to someone else, that's what you're doing. But you're doing it on a much smaller scale. You know, when you take to the social media networks and start putting people's names out there and stuff like that, then that really is the lowest, isn't it? Because people's nature, a lot of people's nature, is to join in. And what happens with social media, there's a filter on it. People that aren't like that don't do it. But the ones that are like that love doing it. So what happens is you get a separation of people that just walk away from it. And what you're left with is the dregs that love, which is what we did with our group when we got our group, was let people that don't normally make a comment without someone coming on and shooting them down. It took us probably 8 months when we started to get
Yeah.
rid of the ones that shut them down. But no, we don't get them, do we, Pete? Really, very rarely, you know.
No, well, it's interesting to hear Pauline and that say, and it's something that we've always alluded to. And nobody knows better than the player themselves if they've made a mistake or they haven't had a good game.
No,
They
that's
don't
right.
flipping playing out on social media. And that whole thing about, a shouting in a stadium or a little moan in a pub for 5 minutes afterwards, it's done and dusted. You
Yeah.
put something in social media, it's written down, it's there, and it's there for people to go back to. How many other, whatever floats the boat, but you know what I mean. It's always there, and I do think people do have to be a bit more careful with what's going on, and it's thanks to Steve and Beck and the way that they run their group that it's so as popular as it is. I always call it the silent majority, is
Yeah.
because
Mm.
they do appreciate the way he runs that they run that group he's run.
Exactly. I mean, I agree with what Steve says. We all have a moan, don't we? And I'm sure I might say to Mum, oh, so and so, or I might say to my best friend, oh, so and so. It's said, it's done, it's gone. It's not malicious. It's just a comment. But like Steve said, to put it out there, it's forever in history. You can't get rid of it. And to me, it's malicious. It's horrible.
And everybody jumps on the bandwagon.
Why do you want to hurt another human being? I don't get it.
No.
About 18 months ago, do you remember, Pete, that lad had threatened to go around and like get my daughter? Do you remember that?
I remember.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, I
You know,
remember.
threatening my daughter, and this was just about being thrown off the group or being told to shut up, you know. And he private messaging me and said, he was saying, and then he said, like, and by the way, I know where your daughter lives. I thought, right, well, that is that, like, you know, I'll put it out there on social media, I'll put his face out there and everything. There's so many people come to me and said, I'm going to sort that, I'm going to sort. I said, no, I don't want you to do that.
No.
Just let this geezer.
It's your kids. Let's be honest, Steve. You see fire, don't you?
But you don't want anybody else to sort it out.
No, of course you don't.
Well, I don't. To be honest, like I didn't want the kid to get beaten up or hurt or anything.
No,
I just wanted him to have a little dose of his own medicine and start. And I honestly, I don't think I've seen him on social media since. He may be under another name or something. But usually, these people, if they come back, someone will say to me, "Oh, you know, it was on so and so last week," you know. But I haven't heard anything of him. But that was particularly nasty because you don't make veiled threats like that against your family. You know, it's awful. And all I do is run. I just run Facebook page.
Yeah, well, it's like, I don't know if you've ever put a post on social media, which I've randomly done, and you're just chatting away about a certain subject, and then you get somebody jump on your page and start having a go. It's happened to me the other week, actually. It
happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
And,
me being me, I can't shut up. So I was arguing with this woman for 3 days, and in the end she gave up. But that's just me. But it's pointless. It's silliness, isn't it? It's like being in the playground.
Those things, those little things like that, right? Now, something happened to me last week, and Beck messaged me and said, "Oh, you're having a go at you on this page," and I really were like, you know, all nasty shit as usual, like, you know. And I was like, "What was it?" And she told me. I said, "All right." She said it's the admin and a few other people that are doing it. You know, just like name calling. I mean, you know, on the group, it's a blues group. What they're talking about me for, you know. But anyway, so Beck said, "I'll go and I'll just go. They're in our group. I'll just go and delete all the admins from their group. They're in our group, you know."
Yeah.
Sorry, Steve. Yeah. Just on about the going back to America. So Johnny's gone over at the height of when you'd got everybody out there, hadn't you? You'd got George Best, you'd got Beckenbauer. I think even Bobby Moore had gone over. You got the elite over there, but them they love a winner, don't they? So if you weren't winning, was there any sticking in the paper if Johnny's team lost, or was that any harsher than you'd found it in the UK at all at the time, or
Yeah,
how did you?
they put it in a magazine, the weekly magazine. Yeah, yeah.
I bet it's a bit glossy one, wasn't it? Pete, thank you for saving that, for dragging us back into that there, because it's going off on a little bit of a tilt there. But it was like dead, like glossy football in America, wasn't it?
Yeah. My proud moment of John was when he scored 2 goals against Gordon Banks.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Mind you, I think he'd only got one eye.
Just about to, I didn't want to say anything then.
Did you think that, Pete?
What do you mean, one eye?
Did you think that when I said it?
I did, but I'm too much of a gentleman to say.
He was after his car
But
crash.
it was still
Oh, okay.
it was still good.
Mum.
Well, it's true. We had problems with his eye, didn't he? I don't know
Yeah,
what
he had
they
a
were.
car crash and lost one of his eyes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
But
but
there
it
was-
was. I would imagine he's probably a better goalkeeper with one eye than most were with two.
Yeah.
I said that at the time. I said that.
I've never asked you this, Mum. Obviously, I've got. I think everybody knows.
She worries me.
I've got no. I've got the picture of Dad and Pelly in my house, which was pride of black. Did he after the game with Pelly? Did he talk about Pelly, or was it just like another day for him?
Another day, another player.
That's my dad, didn't it?
Another day, another player.
If he was a bit overawed by it, or
No,
no, that's
not
my
at all.
dad.
No, not at all. No.
No, because everyone was out there, weren't they? You know, like I say, George Best, you know, Beckenbauer, you name it. It was like a who's who of
Ray Martin.
No, well, yeah, he went to
Ray Martin went to Seattle, didn't he?
Seattle, yeah. And I think he played there and he stayed there. I don't know. Lost contact. I don't know whether he ever come back here.
It was a nice little sort of. I know, like the money and that wasn't there like it is now, but that thing at the time where players could go to America was quite nice, wasn't it?
It was lovely.
We had a nice time there, didn't we, Mum?
Yeah, you know, we all got there off the plane and there was all these Americans sort of giving us a key for the house, giving us a key for the car, you know.
I remember my only memories that we got picked up in a limo. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. You're only here temporary in this apartment, and they were absolutely beautiful. And in a couple of weeks, we're going to move you. And they moved us to these great big houses by the sea.
Beautiful.
It was honestly.
The dad was ever there, but yeah,
they really looked after the wives.
Yeah,
they really did. It was lovely. And the kids, yeah, it was lovely. Yeah. I suppose we were really lucky, weren't we?
Did you ever get to any of the away games, or how did that work about watching Johnny play? Did you was you a stay-at-home wife?
No, not me. It was difficult when we had the shop. The news agents
in America.
Oh, in America.
Yeah.
Oh no, all the wives went.
Oh, well, they looked after me.
You come with us?
Oh.
Yeah, all the wives
Home alone.
Left you at home.
She wasn't. We all went.
I remember some of it.
Obviously, only the home games. We couldn't go to the away games because they were like 4 or 5 hours flight away. You know, we couldn't.
No.
I bet that was someone else. So then, was just watching the home games? Was it very different?
Oh yeah, and you know,
the atmosphere was.
You had to do what everybody else did. Stand up and do this. You know.
Home games, funny things as a kid, isn't it? And the American national anthem.
Yeah.
And I remember. Do you remember me standing up in that big crowd and putting my hand on my heart? And I
told you to do it.
Yeah. Just said stand up. And then I did it. And somebody said, "What are you doing that for? You're English." Oh, I don't know. So, right, I was patriotic at the time. Yeah. But I think the atmosphere was completely different in the stadium. It was electric.
Do you remember that after the games, the fun we had, the places we went to?
Oh, fantastic.
You know, and all the players from the away team and our players were there.
Yeah.
Oh, God, there was some beer drunk, weren't there?
I think we could write a book, but nobody would believe it.
No, they wouldn't. Well, that's the fact that is.
And I suppose really because obviously Mum and I don't talk about this on a daily basis, we'll bring Dad up, but when you look back, I think, you've got to be, we have got to be so grateful because we've been so privileged, really, haven't we?
Yeah.
So lucky.
Yeah, so lucky meeting.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and I mean, even though you can say, obviously, our footballers didn't earn what they earn now, you still had a nice lifestyle from it,
Lifestyle.
You know what? We had the I've got the memories.
Me too.
It didn't matter about. I've never.
And we have.
Thought, oh my God, we didn't earn that much.
We got the memories of John. I remember John dying, and I was actually. Now you're going to tell me what year it was. I can't remember, but I remember Blues playing Derby at St Andrews on Boxing Day, and we was in Wally's box, and it was what
2006.
What December, wasn't it?
December the 23rd.
Yeah, because it was Boxing Day. This game was against Derby County at St Andrews, and we were talking about him. How sad it was that he died and all that. Because he's so young, wasn't he?
20 past. It was
59.
20. No, let's not get morbid. But it was 20 past 6 on the 23rd of December. But I don't want to get morbid.
Yeah, I was there.
No, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, he could still be here, couldn't he? I mean, he died young, didn't he?
Do you know? I will say this because I slept on the floor by his bedside. Because obviously, Mum and Dad weren't together, but bless Mum, she used to come every day and see him.
I wouldn't leave her.
No, she wouldn't leave me, and I stayed for 2 nights. And Dad, being Dad, he went, I'm not going to die while you're here. And you take it with a pinch of salt because he was delirious, and I stayed for 2 nights. Anyway, I thought, I've got to go home because I've got to have a wash. I hadn't had a wash for 2 days. 20 past 6, I get the phone call. It's like imminent. Got there, went through every red light in Kidderminster, got there, and he'd gone. And honestly, Steve,
just as you rang the bell.
Yeah. I swear he did it on purpose because he said it. I'm not doing it when you're here. I don't want to upset you. You never know, dear, but it's just strange that I'd been there and then he went. Isn't it weird?
It's a nice sort of thing to remember, really, that, perhaps he did, do it because you weren't there. Who knows?
He would. Yeah, he probably would, wouldn't he?
Oh, he would never want to upset me, would he?
No, never. But you went to Spain a couple of weeks before he died. And she said to me, will you ring him every day? Of course I will.
I only went for 3 days, didn't I?
Yeah, and I did. But and then he'd fall asleep after 10 minutes. I'm talking to him. He'd fall asleep. He was so poorly, wasn't he? Yeah. Then the next day he said, well, where did you go? What happened? You stopped talking to me. I said, oh, I don't know. But he was just so poorly, wasn't he?
Do you know what I thought was lovely when he knew we hadn't got long, and obviously Mum had moved on, and there was no malice. We all got on really well.
Well, with you, me, as a family, with Paul as well.
And he held her hand and he said, you know what? He said, you will always be the love of my life. And isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was nice for the Blues to invite you onto the pitch as well, I thought I thought that was a nice touch of the club.
When you went on
the pitch.
But didn't they bring you onto the pitch at one?
Oh,
yeah, but did you hear what happened, Pete?
Yeah, that was the Saturday before. Yeah, he died. Yeah.
You mean when he was no, I didn't go on the pitch.
He couldn't go. He was too
we were taking Dad in the wheelchair for the game before he died, and he said to me, promise me, Bab, that you'll take me one more time. So I got in contact with Birmingham and said we were bringing him down in his wheelchair. And I said, Dad, they want to take you onto the pitch. And he said, I don't want anybody. He said, I want to be inconspicuous. He said, I'll go in a box, whatever, watch the match. But I'm not going on the pitch. And he was embarrassed. Right. But he wanted to go, Pete, and he never got there.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, which was sad. But
it's quite fun. Well, I say funny. That's not the right word, but with all this new pitch revealing of our new ground and everything, you know, seeing it all there, my first thoughts went back to all the people who won't be going.
Oh, Pete, that I think about that all the
You
time.
say this all the time.
All the
don't you?
time. It makes me so sad
Yeah.
to think that John won't be able to see it.
You
Paul-
said that the other
yeah,
day.
Paul won't be able to see it, and he was a true supporter.
Yeah,
Paul.
he was.
You know, and it makes me really. They went through all the bad
Bad
times,
times. Yeah.
and now they won't be able to see the good
You know
times.
something though, it's like talking
Yeah.
about that. It's sort of see, like I've got these images in my head of like winter nights at St Andrews when John was playing and Barry Bridges and that, and I can see them in my mind's eye, you know, in the air, heading
Yeah.
the ball or whatever. It's almost like photographic. And kids going future will never see that
No.
because that particular time in our club's history was a very special time, but a very different time to now. So, although a lot won't see the new stadium, a lot won't see what we've seen in the
No, I think
60s
that's
when
true.
we're
Yeah.
getting like 54,000 people in there and under the lights and that bright green pitch and that
Mm.
blue, white, you know, the whole
Mm.
thing is like that's gone forever.
But it's memories, isn't it?
You can't buy them.
That's what I'm saying, and
You
you can
can't.
never take them away, can
No.
you?
No.
And it's a shame that the thing is, like, there's probably people that went to Munch Street that would never see St Andrews, you know, and
Definitely.
yeah, it's just a way. Unfortunately, it's time, isn't it? And whilst a few people have said to me, and it's sort of half in my mind as well, although I don't live there anymore, but it's like they'll go once to the new ground and probably never go back again because
I've said that.
you know, and two or three people have said that to me, you know.
It's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know, time moves on and clubs change, and I hope we don't lose our identity because that's the thing we don't want to lose.
I think about losing our identity. I hope we don't. But who knows? Who knows?
It's obviously, time evolves, time moves on. You have to move with it.
How do
It's
you
like
feel?
it's sort of what Tom Wagner's done as well. He's sort of listen, Tom Wagner's a businessman. He wants to make money, you know. But there is this thing where he's really sort of he's like, it's Birmingham, isn't it? You know, and putting us, we're Birmingham. It sort of marginalises Villa a bit, you know. And I think the way he does it is so clever, like with the tifo yesterday. That he's got forward on it. You know, that's the city's motto, isn't it? You know, forward. And then the way he doesn't talk about Birmingham City, he talks about Birmingham.
Yeah.
It almost marginalises Villa, like they're almost pushed out of Birmingham, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think Wagner's got a very, very good play on words, though. He's a very clever man, isn't he?
Gosh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's very, very clever. He's very savvy in
Very
terms of social
strategic,
media and making money. You know, I wish I wish I had, but he's a man. And Knighthead, they've done marvellous things, but times change and probably won't be the same Birmingham City that we knew, but it'll be a Birmingham City that other people know, I suppose.
I sometimes think I wish George and Jack could have seen what I saw, my memories. Do you know what I mean? Of how it used to be, but they see it as it is now, and like you say, time changes.
They'll grow up with a new.
They'll grow up with a new one, but they'll never see what I saw.
And you can't tell anybody, can you, Steve?
No.
You can't tell anybody what it was like.
No.
You've got to be there.
Yeah.
Haven't you?
It's experience. It's like when Pete put a post on last week about the steps to the sty, those steps at the back of the Cop. The Villiers sat the piss out of it, but you know what? It's like that was a marvellous thing to walk up those steps and look down onto the green. And I'd put a bit on about, retractable roofs. Well, we had the corrugated iron roof blow off, didn't we? And go down the road.
Yeah.
And it's a vast contrast, a stark contrast, but they're both important things, aren't they? They're both important times. and we've got those memories, and some people will never see that.
It'll be interesting, I think, won't it, to see how it evolves now.
Yeah,
I hope I see it.
The last game at St Andrews is going to be very emotional, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? No one's guaranteed to see the new ground, are they?
No.
From day to day, you never know, do you, Pete?
What do you think, Pete?
It's funny you mentioned Villa there, Steve, because Johnny had a pretty great record against.
Your mic's gone quiet, Pete. You got your hand over your microphone.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, go on, say it again.
I was just saying, it's funny that you mentioned Villa there, like, because Johnny had a great record against them, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we beat 4-0, 4-2, 2-1. Yeah.
We had the 5 in a row, didn't we? I remember John in the 4-2 game. That was the one where Barry Bridges scored after 17 seconds at St Andrews when we beat them 2-1. That season when we did the double over them, that was early on in my career as a Blues fan. You know, the 4-0 was a bit later on, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I've got a picture of Johnny in the famous scrapbook there again of him celebrating after scoring against Villa, like, and
how many pictures have you got in that scrapbook, Pete?
he's almost like been stalking you, like, since I was a kid.
Well, you know, as we said, time moves on, doesn't it? And it's been absolutely brilliant talking to you two again. You know,
And you, Steve. And you too.
Yeah, and of course we're going to get together soon, ain't we? Either in Spain or whatever, I would imagine.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, definitely. And Pete, I'm sick of seeing you today.
Exactly, yeah. I'm going to get back to my scrapbook now, mate. Don't worry.
Pete, you need to get a flight over, mate, and come and have a drink with us.
You need to come.
I'd love him to come over.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love that.
I haven't even got a passport, you know.
Oh, you're not serious.
But you could get one.
Yes, yeah.
No passport.
Get one, son.
He has.
Oh, he's probably run out, but you could get one.
Anyway, let these nice gentlemen come.
We'll drag him over.
That was nice. Listen, it's been so lovely to talk to you both again. Thanks for having us.
It's good. It's lovely. You know, it's absolutely lovely to see you both, and to have Pete as well. Like, because Pete, he sits quietly there, doesn't he? But you know, I mean, he's such an important part of our group and the club. You know, I mean, listen, everyone loves Pete, don't they?
Yeah, everyone loves you too.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but everyone loves Pete.
Passport office.
Pardon?
I said, apart from the bloody passport office.
What do you mean?
Don't be so miserable, Pete. Get a passport.
You need to get your ass down there, son, and get a passport and get over here. But yeah, thank you so much, girls and Pete. And look out a bit later. This is going to be in the group later on tonight. I've got my new way of downloading it. I've got to go and sort my pork chops out.
Listen. How about your pork chops?
Oh, your pork chops.
I've turned them off.
If you'd have said you'd have burnt them, I'd have cried.
Anyway,
sorry, Mum. We'll speak to you soon.
Right, guys, thanks. So, listen, love to Roy. And we'll see you soon.
Take care.
Bye. 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 Thank you.
Okay.
What do you think? Yeah. Fucking awful, man. This is fucking terrible. Fuck is the matter with it now?